everyone, and welcome to the Wichita Real Estate Podcast presented by the Pinnacle Realty Group. This is episode 4. It's the do's and don'ts of home improvement. I'm joined today by our very esteemed and well-known guest. You may have heard of him. You've probably heard of him. Jeremy Johnson of JJ's Quality Homes. Jeremy, thank you for making the time to be with us today. Do I call you JJ? Do I call you Jeremy?
Either one. Most people call me JJ.
I had never called you Jeremy before. That was kind of weird when I said it. So thank you again for joining us today, making time for it. I know you're usually jam-packed, always have something going on, so I appreciate you making a little time in your schedule for us today. So tell us a little bit about your background. Who's JJ?
I'm a father of 4, and got a wife. I've been married for almost 18 years, and I own 2 businesses. JJ's Quality Homes is my remodeling business, and I recently started a separate business, a painting business called Next Level Painting. I got a dog named Dexter. He's a prick. But that pretty much sums up my life. I work around the clock 24 hours a day, pretty much 7 days a week, and spend whatever time I can with my kids outside of work.
And your dog.
Yeah.
Right. So, in the spirit of that, second arm of your business, almost Next Level. I mean, that was obviously strategic. I'm sure you've got a lot of painting bids that, was occupying JJ's Quality Homes resources, and you needed to develop, but it's all vertically integrated. So I'm sure there's a lot of lap over in that. Can you speak to that a little bit? Kind of the strategy behind it, I guess.
Sure. This is my 6th year going into in business on my own. I've been in construction for 22 years total, and I worked for a guy for a long time, and I branched off on my own when I had 4 kids, basically, because I need my own schedule.
Sure.
But we've always done painting, remodeling. It goes hand in hand when lots of painting, tons of painting, and I've always had painters on staff that work for me. And so recently I decided, I was like, there's good money in painting, really good money, and we do it on every project. And the biggest thing I deal with is getting people to come to my job sites when I need them to.
Sure. Sure, yeah.
And
coordinating that can be difficult.
So the money that you pay a painting crew, it's at the end of the day, it's going to be cheaper for me to hire people under my supervision.
Sure.
And let them be there when
with the volume you have. It is
right.
Absolutely.
It's too much, and people, they want to work for different people, and I don't blame them. But it's easier for me to kind of be able to tell people where I can, have them, and then you got to we do multiple jobs at the same time.
Sure.
So I got to have a guy here, a guy there, a guy there, so I got to spread them out, and I wanted to start a separate painting business so I can reach people differently, because when people look at painting, they're not going to call a remodeling company for the most part. They're going to look at a painting company.
Sure.
So we just now recently started separately. I'm going to start branding it, and
that's awesome.
It's going really well already.
I saw the van get wrapped on Instagram.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It looks sharp. Turned out good.
I like the logo. It looks awesome.
I'm big on branding.
No, yeah. I mean, you've done. I mean, we've only interacted in person a handful of times, and we've definitely interacted over social media a lot more than we have in person. Yeah. I mean, this is the longest we've ever talked to each other in person, and it's being filmed and recorded. So, I mean, your branding, and that's the reason I even knew who you were.
Right.
So for you to be able to speak to that, I think is huge. So obviously you're huge on social media. You're always on Instagram, Facebook as well. What do you see that's done for your company? What do you see that's done for you as a human being and as a business owner?
So there's a little funny story behind that. So about 5 years ago, well, it was 6 years ago, I have identical twins, and they were born 7 years ago. Okay. And so when they're in the hospital, I was never on social media, ever. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was a dumb idea, and I always made fun of my wife for doing it. Yeah. And we're in the hospital, and we had a lot of downtime because we had complications, so we had downtime there. And so she was on Instagram playing around with it, and I had no idea what it was. And so I started checking hers out. She's like, "Here, let me start you on Instagram." And I'm not kidding you. She started for me, and I got hooked immediately. Yeah. And it wasn't like the social media thing. It was more because I love construction. I'm very passionate about what I do. Right. I've always had a big time passion for construction. And I started seeing it on Instagram, a lot of photos on there and stuff, you know. And I was pretty mind boggled that people can really showcase their work on there. So I was like, well, I took it serious, and I started kind of seeing what people can do with it in other states, not here. And I don't think people use it enough here. They're starting to.
I would agree.
And that's what I'm trying to get out as a message of how powerful it is. Because for me, I don't pay for advertising. we stay booked out a year at a time. I mean, you have to literally wait to get on their schedule for a year.
And it's all word of mouth from social media.
It's all social media and word of mouth, but it's both. You know, it's hard to say because they go hand in hand.
Right.
It starts at social media and it spreads through word of mouth and vice versa.
Right, yeah. I mean, social media today is what word of mouth was 25, 30 years ago. I mean,
big time.
If you were in the construction business on your own like it is now 30 years ago, you'd get a call and they would say, is this JJ? And you'd say, yeah. And they'd say, yeah. My friend John said you were awesome. Same thing on social media. Like, people are going to share, and, you know, especially your clientele. I mean, you know, like they share, you know, before and afters and say, he was amazing, he was this, he was that.
Sure.
That's your word of mouth, and it can reach a hell of a lot more people all at once than just you having to tell them one-on-one. So, no, it's super powerful. We're huge on branding, and we're huge on our social media here. We haven't quite reached the 28,000 followers you're at now. We're not quite there yet, but we're on our way. So.
Well, that's what I wanted to say is that you get to showcase what you do, even like for you, for what you do.
Yeah.
Some people, they're shy. I'm a shy guy, to be honest, you know. But I'm not afraid to make stories on Instagram and Facebook because I know how powerful it is, you know. Right. I know what it leads to, so I just kind of suck it up, and I know that I can reach other people and help younger guys that are wanting to do what I do. That's why I do this on social media, because I want people to know that there's a future in this business. You can make a whole lot more money and a better living than most people think, you know?
That's awesome.
And you get to show everything. So, like, when I go look at a job, when I meet people, when I go up to their house, they already know everything about me.
Right.
That's
your job interview's done already.
Even if you have a website, they can only see so much. Right. But Instagram and Facebook, they see the story, they see behind it, they know about my kids, they know my dogs, they know my house, they know
the human element behind JJ. It's not just another contractor that's coming in and going to overcharge me, do this, do that. You're a real human being, and they make that a real human experience.
And that's another thing that just comes hand in hand is when people show their life, it's like you're not afraid to show who you are. So, like, people that they don't want to use social media, or they say they won't, they make fun of it and everything, because they don't want to show in detail who they are. They don't want to show the real person that they are, you know?
They're hiding something.
They really are.
They really are.
They're taking pictures of your stuff, you know, up close. That shows that you're not hiding nothing.
Exactly.
You want to show people that.
That's huge. I know, you know, you do a lot of, you know, of like the up close stuff on all of your paint jobs, and I was looking at one, and I was zooming in, and I was like, there's got to be some imperfection. There's got to be some kind of mistake.
I wouldn't post it.
Right. And it was, I mean, I was out. I was blown away. Like, it was insane. Yeah. It was, I wish we could do more business together, you know, like on like my rehabs and stuff, or on stuff for clients, but I can't wait a year. So
not only that, I even, you know, with real estate investors, just investors in general, I'm in the business to make money. You're in the business to make money, right?
And
so I'm charging top dollar.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense for me to work for investors or
right, because you're going to break the budget.
100%. And I tell people that every time they call me, they want me to work for them, but I'm like, you know, we both got to make money here.
Right.
It just don't make sense.
Yeah, 100%. Right. So from home remodel, from painting, I mean, obviously painting is going to be, you know, pretty self-explanatory. Home remodel, that's everything. There's certain things you won't do. There's certain things that you won't touch. I mean, is that full service? Like, you could build me a house from the ground up, or like, where does that rehab service really start and stop for JJ's Quality Homes?
Well, we'll do new construction. So I do both, but new construction just isn't my passion.
Okay.
It's too easy, honestly.
Really?
It's straightforward. Yeah, I mean, it's straightforward. There's no thinking, no nothing. It's just square foot price on blueprints. You just match what is there. Remodeling, you're solving problems. You're fixing other people's stuff. You're making miracles happen. You're making people's dreams come true. You know, in a say they've been living in a house for 100 years, to take it and turn it around and make something of it. You know what I mean? It's just a whole other thing versus when people build a house, sometimes they get in over their head and build too much and then end up selling it the next year get a divorce. It's bad. Stressful stuff.
I see it a lot in our business. Yeah, I mean, if you want to put a marriage to a test, build a house.
Oh, it is. But we see it all the time. You know?
I believe it. I believe it. No, yeah, it happens all too often.
But another thing on that, we will do pretty much anything. I have my crew, and that's what I think why we're unique. Is because we do everything in-house for the most part. The only things we don't do is stuff we're not licensed to do.
Gotcha.
You know, so electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and concrete we don't do. But those four things are pretty much what we don't do, but I have great subcontractors that I've worked with for a long time.
Sure.
You know?
And you sub out design work, I mean...
Oh, yeah, for sure. I wish I could do that.
It's It takes a special eye. It takes a really special talent to do
For sure.
design work.
There's
So-
great people in Wichita for that. There
Oh,
really
yeah,
is. I got some
100%.
awesome ones.
100%. So, I know you're busy, and I don't want to take our audience. I mean, they're not going to listen to it anyway if it's an hour and a half long. So, really getting right to the title of the episode, the do's and don'ts of home improvement. What does our audience need to focus on, or more importantly, what do they need to avoid if they're looking to remodel their bathroom, their kitchen, their entire house, their basement, the bar, whatever it is? What do they need to be on the lookout for, and what should they be looking for?
Well, the biggest thing when I think of that and where people go wrong is they don't do the research on who they're hiring.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Because I get calls all the time where I have to show up to somebody's house that they hired somebody and it was a disaster. It was like the worst thing ever,
Really?
And we have to undo what they did. It is the worst. But pulling permits is a big deal that lots of people skip, But just doing homework at the end of the day for homeowners.
Do people skip the permit process because of the cost, or because of like the time delays that could come in because now you're waiting on inspection?
There's a few things for that. That part right there, and then hiring the wrong people, because you have to find somebody's license to pull a permit.
Right.
And that's where a lot of people don't
Which is
have it.
typically more expensive to do.
Well, it can get you in trouble because a lot of people don't know this, because when you pull a permit, say if you demo a bathroom and it's showing electrical in there, you bring an inspector in, he sees your electrical is done a certain way in your bathroom, you're rewiring your whole house. So it could cost you a fortune.
What?
A lot of people don't know that.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, that's a big deal, and that's why a lot of people skip out on it, to be honest.
Just because of the potential.
It could be a nightmare.
So why wouldn't they just
they
wait until they do electrical before they do demo?
Well, they want to bring stuff up to code,
Gotcha.
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
So if they see, if their eyes visibly come in there and see something, but most people skip permits,
Sure.
90% of people, it's bad.
It's not high, 90%.
Probably, honestly. No, you very rarely see permits pulled. I mean, I run in all the time, and I hear from people all the time. It's pretty rare. When it comes to remodeling, if you have to add on something, in a house like an addition,
sure.
you're pretty much stuck with doing it, because when you go to sell your house, you'll be screwed.
Right. Because it won't be accounting for the square footage and everything.
But general remodeling, like remodeling bathrooms and basements and kitchens.
Very rarely. You guys always do.
We do a lot. Yeah,
always.
So you don't have to on everything.
Right.
It just depends on what you're doing.
As necessary.
Right.
You do.
If you're doing stuff that can, that people have to have license for, that's when you have to do it for the most part.
Gotcha. Okay, so pulling a permit. What else should they be on the lookout for? So, knowing who they're hiring, making sure they have the proper documentation or permits in place.
Exactly. But not just knowing who they're hiring, looking into who they're hiring. Because you're letting people in, when you're doing remodeling, you're letting people in your home, right? Your sacred place.
Right.
It could be
while you're at work. They're
you
working on
don't
vacation.
know if they're a criminal. You don't know if they're a child molester. You don't know anything about them, let alone to know if they've got a license or if they've been in the business long enough, or even if they know what they're doing, or if they're going to rob you. You don't know much, That's the whole the thing. That's a big deal.
I mean, whether they rob you with stuff out of your home or just take the deposit that you put down and skip town.
That happens a lot.
I have firsthand experience with that, and I have clients that have dealt with it as well. And it's devastating.
But another thing people don't think about is when you hire a company to look into their employees, right? So people don't ask to see documentation. They don't see if you hire a general contractor, say, "Let me see your general contractor's license. Show me it. Show me that you're insured. Not only show me that you're insured, show me that your employees have workers' comp on them." Because guess what? A year ago, here in Wichita, a guy fell off a roof. A legal Mexican, all right? Illegal. He's illegal. He sued the family for $100,000.
And won?
And he's illegal. Because they didn't do the research.
And he didn't have workers' comp.
Didn't have nothing.
No,
the company didn't have it. You have to look it up. People will say all day. I talk to people all the time.
Yeah, man, I've got
everything. But nobody's going to check it. Honestly, right? I've been in business for a while. I bet you I've had like 3 people actually ask me to see. We do 100 to 120 different jobs a year, different customers, right? And I bet you probably 3 people, maybe. I can only think of 2 off the top of my head, but maybe 3 that's asked me just to see my license, not even my insurance or nothing. I could sell that and lie to them if I wanted to, but we're legit.
So do you proactively say, by the way, you didn't ask, you should have, here it is.
I sure do.
Just so you know, here's everything I've got. We're all insured, all workers, everything.
It's all sitting in my truck. I got it all in the folder, so I bring it and I show. It makes people feel better when you show it to them, even if they don't ask them, like, here, just so you know, you hired a good company.
It would make me feel better.
For sure. Especially when you're working in bigger houses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big problem that people don't think about. Huh. And I'm trying to make a change in this town because I'm tired of cleaning up after people.
I believe it.
It's getting old.
But I mean, would you go out of business if you didn't have to clean up after people? I mean, that would be the only
Well,
thing.
there's enough bad people out there. Not only that stuff, but just the shoddy work that they do.
Sure.
Keeps us super busy.
Keeps you super busy, yeah.
I'm not complaining.
It keeps the lights on, for sure.
Sure.
Okay, so those are things that was a combination of what you should be looking for.
Oh, I don't really have anything else off the top of my head. Just hire people that, when homeowners are hiring people, hire people that are qualified for it. It's like people, they'll hire the cheapest. That's the biggest thing in this.
Hire a lumber to do drywall while he's there because it's cheap. And he can just do it while he's there.
Let alone they're not licensed to do certain things, but just going cheap it'll bite you in the butt. It sucks to pay for something twice when you
got to call JJ and have him come fix it.
Well, just like today, for instance, I got a call from a guy that I gave a bid to, and he went with a cheaper company, and I don't blame him. But I said, what was the range of all the bids that you got? Our bid was $7,000. He had bids as low as $3,000 to $12,000 for a painting job. It varies that much, That's how different
$8,000 variation between top and bottom.
That's how different numbers, people have. It's crazy.
And he went with the $3,000
He went with the cheapest, which will probably end up biting him in the butt, but I'm not, what do I do about that?
You'll probably be getting called to come repaint it here in a few months.
It just happened, a week ago. A lady in Cheney got taken bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she hired a company. She was on our list for 9 months, waited 9 months, and backed out because she couldn't wait a couple more months. Called me a month after they started and said, please come redo what they did.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was that rampant. I didn't know there was that big of an issue with subcontractors in Wichita. I've had my run-ins with some negative contractors, don't get me wrong, but I know a lot more good than I do bad, and maybe that's just luck of me. Surrounding myself with good people, but I had no idea that.
Well, somebody like me, I'm meeting 20 to 30 people a week, so I get to hear all the stories. Just everything from all around, I just know a lot of people in the business, so it's sad to see, but it's true, and it's something that needs to change for sure.
That's crazy. What's your favorite project that you're working on right now? And I don't know if it's like, all of my projects are like my kids, like I can't have a favorite one, because they're all, special in their own way, but your favorite job you're working on right now. Doesn't have to be the biggest, doesn't have to be the coolest, but your favorite.
Yeah, I have tons of projects going at the same time. We got anywhere from 6 to 10 typically going, and so I like to work a lot.
Sure.
I love this stuff. But there's one that's really got my heart big time right now. Well, I love when we do a job and the homeowners are super excited.
Sure.
That's the big. Like we started one today. We just started today. This is going to be one of those jobs that's pretty special because they've been waiting and saving their money for a long time. Those are the ones that mean a lot.
That's awesome.
When people sell a house and whatever, that's not a big deal. We're just getting it done for them. But when people are passionate about the home they're going to be living in and enjoying for the rest of their life and they want to redo it, that's awesome. But our veteran remodel, that's a huge deal for us. That's really got my heart right now.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah. So we're, Wichita's been so good to me, and I want to give back. So I have no ties to the military at all, and there's just something about veterans. We get to do what we get to do because of them.
100%.
And I think about it every day. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. So I want to give back. So I want to either build a new house or we're going to remodel a home for a veteran, and we're searching for one right now. We have been for a little bit, so people are writing in stories and stuff, but we're searching pretty heavy right now. We're going to be announcing it, who we're going to be choosing in probably about a month or 2 months, depending. We got it narrowed down pretty well.
That's awesome. Where can people submit their story or application? Is there an email or?
Yeah, it's my email.
Okay.
My email, jjsqualityhomes@gmail.com. And man, we're just looking for someone to change their life. And we're looking for a family in need.
That's way cool.
That's what I want, family.
That's awesome.
No, thanks.
Dang, that is cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll have to get together after we get done with this show here and put together some kind of graphic or something. Because I would love to share that message and that story from our social media platforms as well. Because something like that needs as much outreach as it can get. That is way cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
If you know anybody, send my way.
Man, that is cool.
We got everything taken care of for the most part. So I'm gonna have my crew. working on a lot of this stuff, but I'm organizing the whole thing, and any money I got to spend on minute, I'll spend it. You know, I don't really care about that. But a lot of the materials are taken care of. Everybody's donating their time, and I think it's gonna be all taken care of because everybody's really wanting to help. You know.
That's way cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, that is awesome. Okay, well, you heard it here. I mean, I'm starting to get a little watery. I don't know about him, but I'm starting to get a little goosebumpy, like he said. So, as we're wrapping up today, anything that you thought I would ask or that I would talk about today that we didn't? Anything you wanted to bring up? Anything you wanted to chat about before we sign off here?
No, I think we covered everything that I wanted to talk about, but the power of social media for a general contractor is one thing I just wanted to really
reiterate.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand the power of it. They'll pay for advertising or they won't even do it because they just think it's not worth it.
Sure.
But I'm here today to tell you it's worth it. Last year we did about $400,000 of work off of Instagram directly. You know, just Instagram.
I believe that. That doesn't even surprise me, and that's with you not spending $1 on social media advertising. If you were to spend a real marketing budget on social media advertising, you
don't even know where that's going or if it's working.
Right. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's insane. We do a lot of social media marketing here. We do a lot of advertising on there now. We do a lot of marketing with that on all platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. We have a texting community. We have an email community. We've got all different platforms. We're getting them everywhere. We have a podcast. We have them on Tuesday, Wichita, Wednesday. We have a lot of different ways to get our audience connected into real estate, and it's been huge for us. I mean, it's been a resource. I mean, like you said, it's huge for general contractors. It's huge for real estate agents. Any business. Really? So many people, especially in an industry like ours, I would consider us being, and not in the same industry, but in a similar one.
Somewhat.
I mean, you can take pictures of really pretty houses you've remodeled. People like to look at pretty houses. We get to do the same thing all day long. People like to look at real estate. Things that will always win on social media: real estate and food and babies and dogs. If you're in an industry where you can post content about any of those four things, you have no reason not to be posting all the time. Now, if I owned a fencing company, I would want to post pictures of a really straight, beautiful wrought iron fence that we did. I'm going to care about that, but people aren't going to stop scrolling to say, look at that fence. But people are going to stop to say, look at that house, look at that cheeseburger, look at that dog, look at that baby. So the industry we're in, there's so many real estate agents, and it sounds like so many general contractors just in Wichita that aren't even using it at all, or they ran one, maybe two ads on Facebook, and they said it didn't work. Well, basketball has a 0 ROI for me, but it's got an unlimited ROI for LeBron James.
Right.
Facebook didn't not work. You didn't do it right.
Yeah.
You weren't good enough for the advertising.
Yeah.
It didn't generate anything for you because your ad sucked.
Yeah, and it takes time though. It takes work. People don't. They
Just
think
like
it's so
anything.
simple.
It's so simple.
And they give up way too early.
Way too early.
They'll start and do it for a few months. I'm not getting no followers. I'm not getting no
just
traction.
didn't work.
And just walk away from it.
I'm like, you think this is going to fall in your life?
It could take years, you know.
Yeah.
It does.
So you've been on Instagram for like
About
really,
five
heavy
years, I would
minutes.
say, for the most part.
And you're at 28,000 followers.
Yeah.
For really being, I mean, I see your stuff. I mean, it's almost like, this dude ever stop posting? I mean, all just tap. I'm like, dang, JJ, I'm like, quit. I'm like, all you do is post. So, I mean, for you to do that almost 6-7 days a week, all the time, multiple times a day for 5 years, that's what it takes to build the following you've had. And you're 100% right. Too many people give up way too early.
I do. I want people to know that, like, you know, what we do. So when they think of construction, they think of remodeling, they're going to know who to call. It's that easy.
Because you've been controlling the narrative the whole time. Anything and everything they hear, listen, watch, or read about rehabbing or remodeling or new construction or paint or anything is going to come from your mouth.
For sure.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's exactly
and
what
being
we're
the
doing
face
here.
of the company, you want to show your face. A lot of people,
100%.
they'll hide, you know.
You have to have the human element. I mean, just like real estate. I mean, we're huge on, you know, it's not just a business deal. You know, it's a human experience. Every client that we deal with, you know, this was a home, or this is going to be a home, or we're helping them, invest in real estate to pay for a kid's college. Like, this is real life human experiences that we get to be a part of their story every day, not the other way around. They don't get to be one of our clients. We get to be their agent. And I mean, it's a human experience from start to finish, and it's no different in any other business. You've got to make it about a human experience. You've got to brand yourself and brand your business.
And answer your phone, man. People will shut their phone off when they get home from work. I'm like, if you're a business owner, you just can't do that, because that one call you can miss could change your business.
There are countless, and I mean countless, real estate agents that I will call on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday evening, or on a weekday past 6 o'clock, and I have lost count of the number of agents that will not answer the call, and on their voicemail says, if this call is received after 5 p.m. on a weekday or on a weekend, I will return your call the next business day. And I'm like, you think your buyers or sellers are going to wait around all weekend because it's inconvenient for you to call them back for 15 minutes? I'm like, that's my client.
And then they whine because they don't have work or whatever,
Because you weren't there. Like, we have to be there for our clients when they need us to be. For them. They are always the boss.
For sure.
They're in charge, and you've got to work when they need you to work. So no, there's no shortage of that in the real estate industry either. And every time I get one of those voicemails, it's all I can do not to leave them a message and say, well, I was going to bring you an offer on this house, but it's after 6 p.m., so I guess I'll move on to the next one. Like, you're doing your clients such a disservice by doing that, but just like you having to go around with, shoddy contractors in Wichita, it keeps you in business. It keeps us in business. Other agents that aren't willing to answer their phone at 6:02 on a Wednesday night, I am. You can call PRG. We're always available. So, no, it's different strokes for different folks, man. You can't control everything, I guess.
That's why you're doing good.
We're trying to.
But another thing.
I'm just trying to get to 28,000 Instagram followers. That's all I'm trying to do.
Keep working on it.
Yes, sir.
But it takes work. Everything takes work. But from my point of view, Instagram is by far the most powerful when it comes to business. Like, I'm on all of them,
Yeah,
but it seems like everybody is on Instagram, and it's easy to find you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's really easy to find. And if you are running ads, what we've found is a huge portion of our engagement comes from Instagram, just because it is so interactive. Your Facebook feed is going to be watered down with political this and this. I mean, it's so easy to get lost in this train of all these other posts. Instagram's a lot more interactive. You have the stories.
Not as much drama.
Right.
And they're your friends on Facebook versus people that you don't know.
But they're just following you.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally different. 100%. No, we found a lot of our success on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Sure.
100%.
Good stuff.
100%. So, final question for you and for every guest. Ooh, I did miss one question. What's your favorite local restaurant in Wichita? We ask every guest.
Hometown, or homegrown.
Homegrown?
Homegrown, and I like Ziggy's Pizza a lot, but homegrown I dig, man. I love it.
Winners. Have you been to the new one downtown yet?
Not yet. No,
I haven't either.
Maybe not together.
Perfect.
I love that place, man.
Every guest gets that question, and then this one, you get to ask our audience a question. The only thing that we ask is that after this, which I'm sure is no problem for you because you're an avid social media user, you jump into comments, you jump into anything, you interact with the audience, fire back answers when they answer your questions. What's your question for everybody here? Everybody listening to the podcast, reading the article, or watching the video?
All right. This is the thing that I want to know from everybody is, what do you look for when you're hiring a general contractor or a remodeling company, somebody like me that will come in and be in your personal space? What do you look for? And are you looking for the cheapest? That's one thing I want to know. Most people, I'm not going to say most people, but a lot of people, they want the lower, the cheapest.
Yeah, I mean, they got champagne taste on a beer budget.
I mean, I get it. Money's money, and it's not cheap to do remodeling, but what I want to know is, what do you look for? So like for us personally, we offer something nobody else does really in Wichita, and that's dust collection on our remodels. We collect all the dust because the dust is the devil on a remodel.
I believe it.
And so we're very unique, and that sets us apart from people, and we land a lot of jobs because of that. But I just want to know what people look for. So if I'm missing something, I'd like to, fill that blank. So just let me know.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to everybody jumping in the comments. I'm looking forward to see what answers we can drum up there for you. Thank you again so much for taking time out of your super busy Instagram schedule to come on to the podcast today. This has been the Wichita Real Estate Podcast, episode 4 with Jeremy Johnson, owner, founder, and Instagram connoisseur, Jeremy Johnson, JJ's Quality Homes. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Tune in again next month for our next episode.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.